Today, we're going to talk about the 9 best MOSs to choose as we go into 2026, leading off the bat with number 1, which is cyber warfare. This also incorporates the defensive cyber ops or any of the cyber spaces within the military. Now, the reason this is a cheat code is because if you're competent in the cyberspace, which that's kind of a key part of this, being competent, you'll never really have to worry about a job again because cyber is an incredibly fast-growing space. It's in high demand in the military. It's in very high demand out of the military. Think NSA, think, three-letter agencies in general. People are both interested in cyber warfare on the offensive side and on the defensive side. In fact, I even have a friend who's legitimately paid to basically try to hack websites and see if he can get through and then coach the team on hey, here's how I got through and here's how you could avoid this in the future, and therefore proactively helping companies be defensive. And in case you haven't thought this through, AI is only going to increase the number of cyber attacks and cyber issues, not decrease it, especially with everything going on, with China and all these other countries that are always trying to pierce the veil with the US, right? Cyber attacks are going to become more and more prevalent across the world. And so the cyber community is going to be, and I believe, stay in high demand for a very long time. Number 2 here is the intelligence fields. Now, this is kind of all things, right? This is your SIGINT, this is your GEOINT, this is your all things intelligence community, counter intel, whatever, right? There's a lot of different spaces in the intelligence world, and all of these are highly sought after by those same three-letter agencies, as well as the UN, and really there's a number of different things you can do with an intel background in the military, of course, but after the military as well. I have friends who've worked at various three-letter agencies, especially on the linguist side, but in the intelligence space in general. Think psychological operations, think intelligence operations and getting data, think counterintelligence operations, which kind of blends the two together between intel and psyop, where you're doing the whole gamut of both getting intelligence and feeding, whether it's misinformation or intelligence in general. All of these things serve a purpose in and out of the military and will most likely keep you gainfully employed, again, if you're competent. Number 3 here is anything in the aviation space, right? The aviation world is not going anywhere. We're not going to simply stop traveling in the air. Everybody knows about pilots, and obviously that's got some solid career backing and opportunities and job stability, but all of the maintenance side as well. There's a ton of certifications that come on the aviation side for the maintenance side and all of the other operations side, and all of those things are going to be beneficial for you post-military because, again, those jobs aren't going anywhere. Now, number 4 here is anything in the medical field. This could be the nurse side, the doctor side. This could be the x-ray tech side. This could be radiology, respiratory therapy, physical therapists. Any of these medical fields, we know how big medical industry is in the United States, and really doctors are valuable across the world. And so that these spaces are going to be here. They're going to maintain. Now, in the military, there's a lot of good opportunity for the doctor and nurse corps. Not in the Marine Corps per se. We don't have them. We use the Navy side. That said, out of the military, for sure, these are high-paying, high-demand jobs, a lot of career fields. We have a lot of members within my War Room mentorship program that are current or former nurses and travel nurses who get paid fairly well to live in various different spaces around the world and then can reinvest that money into, real estate or their financial future, however they choose. And so the medical field provides a lot of opportunity here as well. Fast cars, but no cash. Not in our circle. You see, the War Room gives you the tools to dominate your finances. So if you want in, scan the code, click the link in the description. Coming in at number 5 is air traffic control, which seems to always make it on my list of both best and worst jobs to choose. And let me explain why it's kind of stuck in the middle here. Air traffic control is incredibly high stress. It promotes well, but it also weeds people out very quickly. People get burnt out, and unfortunately and admittedly, it does have a high propensity for, mental issues and or even depression or suicide. It has a very high rate comparatively because of the stress and performance requirements placed upon you. That said, if you can handle the stress and the workload, there's not many better fields for a direct transition from military to civilian high-income earners. Air traffic control is very high demand, very high income. If you are good at this job, you will crush it even at smaller airfields, but especially at higher volume airfields. For example, during the government shutdown, Chicago and a lot of other airports, but I just am intimately or personally familiar with Chicago, had issues maintaining air traffic control rotations, and it messed up a bunch of flights. And so people were making money, as always, to come like that. Air traffic is very high demand, and so there's good money to be made there, right? Supply and demand, the law of economics, the main prevailing force of economic driver. And so it is a very high-paying job. It has its stresses and its struggles, and so you need to be aware of that. But if you're capable of handling that, it pays very well. Number 6 here is anything in the IT network cloud space, right? This kind of ties into the cyber side, but this is more like building out the system. So I actually have a buddy who is Intel on the side that does all the systems and secret networks and SIPR networks, and he had tons of job opportunities post-military. Anything in this like high-end data IT side, there's just going to be a demand, especially like with the cloud software and the cloud building side. There's just a lot of opportunity there, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. Now, number 7 is true, near and dear to my heart. This is the logistics side, the transportation side, the supply chain side. For those who don't know, my actual primary MOS in the Marine Corps was motor transportation operations and motor transportation operations chief. Basically, I drove trucks and ran all the logistics, right? Now, that's the boiled all the way down. There was a lot more exciting stuff to this, but Motor T, or 88 Mike in the Army, makes the world go round, right? And I've seen firsthand the job opportunities that come from people who want to get out of the military, and even if you just got into the trucking space as a driver, make good money. But on the logistics side, especially some of those embark chiefs and the logistics side of the house, they can be very, very high demand, make a ton of money. In fact, it's so much of a problem for the military. Well, I don't want to say problem for the military, but it's in such high demand that the 04 MOSs in the Marine Corps, at least at the time I was serving, were the fastest promoting job fields in the Marine Corps, because they knew that if they didn't promote fast and keep and retain and keep people moving up through the ranks, they would go take a job in logistics, making a ton of money doing their own thing. So they needed to make sure that it was a fast promoting MOS with a lot of bonuses and benefits, because that side of the space, it was competitive for those guys. And so I'll tell you firsthand, our entire nation and the world runs on the back of logistics, whether that's truck, train, plane, auto, whatever, it does. And so if you can effectively coordinate or operate any of those supply, logistics, transportation spaces, there will always be opportunity for you. Number 8 is the electronics, radar, communication, maintenance side, and some of the operation side, but admittedly the maintenance side is probably more high demand here, because all of that stuff keeps the world going, right? Like if you lost cell phone service today for the next month, no matter what you did or where you went, it would mess with your quality of life. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about cell phone maintenance here, but anything on the electronic, radar, communication side that ties into this, that's how important this stuff is. Like, think if you just immediately lost the ability to communicate with the outside world, that would be detrimental. It would put a hurt locker on you and the entire economy. And so those are, again, job security, high demand job spaces. If your job is required to make the system run, you're valuable. Number 9 is the construction engineer side. So this could be, I know there's like the engineer side where you might get stuck like beep, 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 metal detecting. But outside of the combat engineer side, which, by the way, no shade, like that's not all bad. You've got the high explosive, like you get to play with boom boom stuff. You get to do a lot of cool stuff on the combat engineer side. But I'm talking more specifically to the construction and engineer side that will transition or transfer into the civilian world with building crap. Because again, just like logistics, just like communication, building infrastructure, incredibly valuable, not going away anytime soon as far as demand. Now look, here's the deal. Most people thinking about joining the military end up picking jobs based on like the cool factor. You notice I didn't mention special forces or infantry in here. That's not to say they're not good jobs. In fact, like special forces guys, plenty of demand and success outside of the military. But again, like infantry life's not all sunshine and rainbows, believe it or not. You're going to hate your life sometimes. And so I wanted to talk through jobs with solid civilian career alternatives that aren't going to wreck your body as much, perhaps, right? So not to say there's anything wrong with infantry, but it's hard to argue that going from infantry to the civilian sector is going to prepare you or give you the same job opportunity as, say, cyber or air traffic control. It's just not. Not to say that the intangibles of like leadership, confidence, and drive and everything that goes into the infantry world won't translate, but I'm trying to point you towards specifically that career transition and opportunity side. What you really want here is to choose a job, at least in my opinion, that's going to give you two of these factors, right? The ability to get a security clearance, certifications that can transition to the civilian side, civilian licensing, even better if you can just bypass the transition and you get the licensing directly. Some of the aviation certifications and things like the OSHA certifications do exactly that. Real world technical skills, again, transferring, and leadership that translates. Now, again, the leadership side, infantry, special forces, all those jobs have it. I would argue every branch of the military, every job in the military has the opportunity to learn all of those leadership roles. So I'm focusing here more on the security clearances, the certifications, the licensing opportunities, right? Like I got my OSHA 40-hour cert while serving in the military and doing a little bit of time as a safety rep. I also got my Lean Six Sigma green belt, which is, if you don't know what that is, it teaches efficiency within systems and processes, how to streamline a process to make it more efficient and save resources. A lot of companies value that. There's a yellow belt, a green belt, a black belt. I think there's a white belt before that, but like I didn't make it to the top level, but I know enough to be dangerous. The OSHA cert helps you as well, but like I didn't end up using any of that, but it's stuff that set me up for success. I also had journeyman certificates in the truck driving and transportation side from my hours and time in the military. Just as like a quick last minute cheat sheet here, if you're thinking, man, I'd really love to work remote with the potential for high income after the military, then maybe the cyber, IT, cloud, intelligence field would be for you. If you're wanting like recession-proof stability, then maybe the medical, aviation, air traffic control, or logistics side would be for you. If you think about like maybe entrepreneurship or maybe like even the real estate investing side post-military, construction, engineer, logistics, like those more hands-on job fields can help you as well. There's a ton of different opportunities out there. Now, admittedly, I'm trying to condense hundreds of jobs into 9 for this list. So make the argument in the comments. What do you think as a veteran or somebody who's joining right now makes the best job in the military? Tell me what, tell me why, and I'll go live in a couple weeks to debate it with you. And let's see if you change any of the numbers on my list. Have a great day.